don't get why I always seem to attract cheap people. Last week, I was at my usual Starbucks, right? Just a normal morning. I'm half awake, standing in line, craving my grande iced caramel macchiato like my life depends on it. And behind me, there's this woman. Fidgeting. Huffing. Puffing. Acting like the world's about to end if she doesn't get her caffeine fix in the next 2 minutes. At first, I ignored her, you know? People are weird. No big deal. But then, she leans in super close, like we're old friends or something, and says, "Hey, are you gonna pay for my coffee too? Or should I just use your card? You look like you could." I swear I thought I misheard. I turned around, blinking at her like, "Did you just say what I think you said?" So I go, what?" And she just dead serious, stares right at me and goes, "You've got a fancy drink. You could afford a small coffee for me? Come on, it's not like I'm asking for a car or something." I just stood there, stunned. Like, is this real life? Finally, I said, "Sorry, no. I'm not buying you coffee. I don't even know you. And honestly, I don't know why you think I should." And get this, she mutters under her breath, loud enough for everyone to hear. Wow, so selfish. Then she storms out, and doesn't even buy anything. Just leaves in a huff like I'm the villain here. I mean, seriously, what makes people think they're entitled to your kindness just because you're holding a slightly expensive drink? And you know what? That wasn't even the weirdest thing that happened to me that week. You think that was bad? Wait till you hear about what happened with my sofa. So I'm moving out of my apartment, right? Chaos everywhere, boxes, tape, lost socks, the whole deal. My buddy's supposed to meet me with a truck, and meanwhile, I move my old couch outside. It's just sitting there, right by my front door, not even touching the curb. Now, it's a decent couch, comfy, clean, not one of those sad, saggy things you find abandoned on the sidewalk. I figured I'd load it up once my friend got there. Well, cue my neighbor. And let me tell you, this lady and I, not exactly besties. We've spoken maybe twice. Both times she complained about something ridiculous like my recycling bin being too noisy. Anyway, she waddles over, eyes locked on my couch like it's a winning lottery ticket, and she goes, "Oh wow, you're putting this out? I'll take it." I smile politely and I say, "Actually no, it's coming with me." Just waiting for help? And this woman, I swear to you, deadpan looks at me and says, "Well, it's on the curb. It's public now." At this point, I'm staring at her like she's grown a second head. I say, it's not even near the curb. It's still on my property." And she huffs, crosses her arms and goes, "That's not how it works. Once it's outside, it's up for grabs." That's the rule? The rule? What is she? The queen of sidewalk laws? I actually had to stand guard next to my own couch because she kept circling it like a vulture. When my friend finally pulled up, she glared at us like we were stealing her furniture. Then, get this, she actually tried to hand me a crumpled 10 pounds bill, saying, "Here, just in case you change your mind." As a kindness. Yeah, I didn't change my mind. And honestly, all that chaos, it reminded me of someone. Someone way closer to home. Someone who might just be the queen of being entitled. My sister. Oh boy. Where do I even start with her? Growing up, she was the nightmare sibling. She stole my clothes. My money. Heck, she even stole from our grandma once. And every time she got caught, she'd spin some sob story about how life was so hard for her. And how we should all feel sorry for her. I tried, you know. I really did. But the day she intercepted my acceptance call from pharmacy school, that was the day something inside me broke. Yeah, she actually answered the phone when the school called, and then just ignored it and let me miss the opportunity. It's like she couldn't handle the thought of me succeeding where she didn't. So, I ended up studying something else in uni instead. But even after all that, I still tried to keep the peace. Until last year? So, back to my sister. You'd think after all the drama growing up, we might have matured. Maybe time and distance would heal things, right? Yeah, no. Last year, I got married. Small ceremony, close friends and family only, beautiful little garden setup, fairy lights, the whole thing. And of course, because despite everything, I still try to be the better person, I asked my sister to be my maid of honor. Big mistake. 2 days before the wedding, 2 days, my phone rings. It's her. She's sobbing so hard I can barely understand a word. Her dog had passed away. Now let me be clear. I love animals. I really do. Losing a pet is awful. I get it. But she was inconsolable. And she said, and I quote, "I can't come to your wedding. I'm too devastated. I can't even get out of bed. I tried, you know." I said we could arrange for someone to drive her home early, if it got too emotional. I offered to have a cozy space set aside, just for her to sit quietly if needed. I even told her she didn't have to stand up front the whole time, just be there. But she said no, refused. And so, on the biggest day of my life, there was a huge empty space next to me where my maid of honor was supposed to stand. A space that screamed louder than anything that my own sister didn't care enough to show up. And afterward? Afterward, she acted like nothing had happened. No apology. No explanation. Fast forward a few months. Guess who's calling me, bubbly as ever? She's engaged. And she wants me to be her maid of honor. I didn't know whether to laugh or scream. At first, I froze. I didn't want to start a war. I didn't want to be the bad guy. But every part of me, every single hurt part, was screaming, "Don't do it. She didn't show up for you. She doesn't deserve you." So I told her. Calmly, kindly, I said, "Look, I love you, but I'm still hurt. You missed my wedding. I can't stand up there and pretend like everything's fine." Well, she accused me of being cold-hearted, said I was petty and unforgiving. Our parents jumped in too, of course, telling me I should be the bigger person. That family is family. That her dog was like her child, and I should understand. And maybe part of me does understand. But another part, a bigger, braver part of me, knows that loving someone doesn't mean letting them hurt you again and again and again. So I said no. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't back down. I'd been living abroad for years. I finally had my own little life, peaceful, quiet, drama-free. And then, one random Tuesday afternoon, my phone buzzes. It's my sister. Hi. She chirps, all fake sweet like she hadn't thrown a temper tantrum the last time we spoke. So, guess what? I'm thinking of moving to the UK too. Won't that be fun? We can hang out all the time. I almost dropped my phone. I didn't even know what to say. Hang out all the time? Lady, I've been thriving without you. Why would I want to reintroduce chaos into my life? But of course I didn't say that. Because, surprise, I'm still not very good at confrontation. Instead, I mumbled something about how moving was a big decision, very expensive, very complicated. Hoping she'd get the hint. Spoiler alert, she did not get the hint. She started asking for advice about visas, jobs, and neighborhoods. Asking if she could crash with me just for a few months to get on her feet. My soul left my body. You know what the worst part is? I can't even say it out loud. Not to her. Not even really to anyone else. But here's the truth. I hate my sister. There, I said it. I hate the way she always makes me feel small. I hate the way she twisted every situation to make herself the victim. I hate the way she thinks I owe her pieces of my life, just because we share blood. And most of all, I hate that after everything she's done, she still thinks she deserves my loyalty, my forgiveness, my home. Looking back, it's kind of funny. Cheapness is a lifestyle. The woman at Starbucks asking for free coffee. The neighbor trying to steal my couch. And my sister thinking she could waltz back into my life like nothing happened. It's all the same story, really. Some people are just cheap. Not just with money. With effort. With love. With respect. They take and take and take, and when you finally say no, they call you the selfish one. But here's what I've learned. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. Protecting your peace isn't cruel. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Even if they call you cold. Even if they cry and scream and make you the villain. Because at the end of the day, you deserve to choose yourself. You ever have those memories that just pop up randomly when you're trying to live your life? Like, you're folding laundry, and suddenly, bam, remember the time your sister stole your birthday money and blamed it on the cat? Yeah. Welcome to my brain. It wasn't just the money. It was everything. Like the time I saved up for months, literal months, to buy this one jacket I was obsessed with. It was perfect. Dark green, faux leather, slightly rebellious, but still classy enough that my parents wouldn't kill me. I brought it home, hung it carefully in my closet. And the next morning, gone. Magically, my sister was wearing it to hang out with friends like she owned the place. When I confronted her, she just shrugged and said, "You can't even pull this off anyway. You should thank me for making it look good." That was her. That was always her. Taking whatever she wanted, making me feel like it was somehow my fault for wanting anything at all. There was also the birthday incident. I was turning 18. Finally an adult. Finally free. My parents had thrown me a little party, cake, balloons, a few close friends. My sister? She showed up late and angry. Stormed into the house like a tornado, slammed her purse down, and announced, "Sorry I'm late. I had better things to do. Hope you're happy?" In front of everyone, killed the mood instantly. Later, when I pulled her aside and asked what was wrong, she sneered. "It's just a stupid birthday. You act like you're the Queen of England or something." It was always like that. If it wasn't about her, it didn't matter. Years later, after moving abroad, I made the mistake of coming home for a family reunion. Big barbecue? Grandparents, cousins, the whole deal. I hadn't seen everyone in years. I was excited, nervous, hopeful. Guess who made it about herself? Yep. My sister showed up looking miserable, made passive-aggressive comments the whole day. Told everyone how hard her life was, how lonely she felt without any support. True meaning is, I hadn't been sending her money or attention. At one point, she pulled me aside, cornered me between the grill and a lawn chair, and hissed, "You think you're better than us now, huh? Living your little fairy tale life across the ocean?" I just stood there, frozen, holding a plate of potato salad like an idiot. How do you respond to that? What do you even say? I think that's the moment something inside me truly broke. Not because she was mean, but because I finally realized she wasn't going to change. Not ever. You know what's weird? Can grieve someone who's still alive. It's a different kind of grief. Grieving the sister I wanted, the one I should have had. I had to let go of the idea that one day she'd wake up, apologize, change. I had to let go of the hope that if I loved her enough, she'd finally love me back the right way. Grief isn't always about death. Sometimes it's about acceptance. Acceptance that they are who they are, and you can't save them. Back to the present. She called again, chirping about her plans to move to the UK. How she couldn't wait to start fresh. How she was so excited for us to be close again. And maybe once, a long time ago, I would have smiled and said, "Yeah, I can't wait." But now? Now I sat there, holding the phone, feeling nothing but exhaustion. I listened politely. I made vague noises of agreement. And when she asked if she could crash with me just for a little while, I lied. I told her my lease didn't allow guests. I told her the cost of living was too high. I told her whatever I had to tell her to protect the tiny slice of peace I'd carved out for myself. I was done. Really, truly, finally done. I've been keeping a letter. I'll never send. If I could say everything I wanted to say to her, this is what I would write. Dear sister, I love you. I always have. But I can't do this anymore. I can't be your emotional punching bag. I can't keep shrinking myself to make you feel bigger. I can't pretend that blood is enough. You taught me how to survive in a world that doesn't always make sense. You taught me resilience, whether you meant to or not. But you also taught me that love without respect is poison. And I refuse to drink it anymore. I wish you peace. I wish you healing. But I will not let you into my life again just because we share a last name. Family is not a free pass to cause damage. Family is supposed to be where you feel safest. You never made me feel safe. So this is me choosing myself. Goodbye. Maybe it sounds harsh. Maybe it sounds cold. But sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is step away from the people who set fire to your heart and expect you to be grateful for the warmth. I pity my sister. I mourn what could have been. But I love myself more. And if that makes me selfish, good. I'll drink my grande iced caramel macchiato, hug my couch tight, and walk away from anyone who's too cheap to love me properly. Because peace is priceless. And I finally know I'm worth it.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share it, because some stories are meant to be discovered together. And stay curious. I'll see you in the next chapter.